Okay, let's start with the trade review for 10 November. This is a Monday, the first trading day of the week. It is a trending day and there was a lot of trades today. But even though it's a trending day, the main move came at around 12 o'clock, the main trending move. And for the first hour, it went up, then the next hour it went down. So it was a bit choppy, but the move was still quite fast. So let's go over the first trade. The first trade is on the video. I entered at 9:30:07 seconds and exited for a $40 loss at 9:35. So I took calls at the cross of my trend line and pre-market, but it didn't follow through. So the next candle closed below. The first candle of the day was quite ugly. It closed below pre-market, the trend line, and VWAP. So I suffered this whole drawdown. I think there's nothing I can really do about it other than maybe closing it out very fast. Like if let's say it goes back below pre-market and the support line, I just close it first. But I choose to reduce position size instead. So that was this first 5 to 15 minutes is very, very fast and dangerous for a lot of the stocks that I'm trading. So a lot of the times it can give me the move, the first 5 minutes, just I'll be done for the day. But in this case, it didn't give a follow through. So I didn't get a quick move and I needed to exit because it closed below a VWAP and all the entry lines. So that was a $40 loss, and given my position size of one option, I think that was an okay decision. If next time I take a larger position size, then maybe I need to consider like cutting it earlier. But maybe I also can stick to reducing position size if let's say I want to give it more time on the play. So that was negative $40 on the day. And the next trade is on SPY. I bought 2 at 9:31 and scaled in at 9:35. So 9:31. I think I took an early position on the cross of either at the cross of pre-market high or the cross of VWAP. At 9:35, I took another position. Because it was crossing above the previous week high, so I scaled in. I got 2 out at break even at the next minute. So in this candle, it probably fluctuated a bit, and 2 got me out because it was rather a big position size, 3 options for my kind of mindset right now. And the next one, I exited at 9:37 for a quick $19 gain. So I get this breakout move. I see around 10+%, I just take it. So that was $19 gain. So far I'm down $21. And the next play is on NVIDIA again, 9:50. I entered puts for $335. Then I sold at a loss for $38. So this was 7 minutes. 9:50. Okay, so 9:50, I probably took it because the previous candle closed below VWAP. And I think I had a bad entry also. I wanted a 2 candle follow through from VWAP, and then we could have if we break opening range, it could lead to a bigger downturn. Because pre-market is all the way here, so my entry was close below VWAP and a potential follow through, but we didn't get a follow through. So 9:57, I got out this candle because it was showing a lot of strength and it was above VWAP. In this case, I closed it earlier because I thought it was showing strength. Also compared to other tickers, it was showing strength as well. It was very near opening range. It was very near pre-market high. So if we could get a break above those levels, we will have a strong upside move. So I decided to cut it early, which was a good decision. So that was negative $38, and I'm down $59 for the day. Okay, so besides that, I also took a Google play at 9:57 and exited it for $22 profit at 10 o'clock. So Google, 9:57, I think I took at the cross. I'm not sure where I exited. I saw it hit my first target using Fibonacci extension, but I didn't take. I was a bit greedy because Google was showing a lot of strength. It was the first to break out of pre-market high, break out of VWAP. It has volume, follow through across VWAP as well. When it break opening range, I took a position and had a quick move. Because it's already quite, I would say, we already had this extended move. So if I enter here, I should have taken a quick profits at my first target. But anyway, I exited for $22 profit. So that was not It was not even 10%, but anyway, I should be quick to take such moves. Okay, so Nvidia, I entered 10.06 and exited 10.26. So this was $48 gain on calls. Okay, so the previous candle closed above pre-market high, even though it's below opening range, but because I believe if we get a breakout move, we could see some upside potential because opening range and it's quite tight. Yeah, which eventually it did give us the move. So I exited around 10.26. Yeah, I actually held this a bit longer. So I exited. I was trying to aim for the next target with a stop loss below below pre-market high, I think. So I was aiming for, I could take earlier when it hit the first target, but I was aiming for the next target. So held a bit longer and exited on this candle right here, somewhere here. So there was a good $48 gain, 10+%. And I'm up $11 from this play. And it's around 10:30, close to 10:30. So on the SPY, I also took calls at 10:25, and I scaled in at 10:28. So 10:25. So I was expecting a follow through. I think this candle broke opening range. It broke the previous bullish close, and it was also above this week. It also it broke the high of day also. So I was expecting a follow through move to hit and get to my next target, but anyway, I entered 10.25 and 10.28 both on this candle and exited at 1.62 because this candle failed. It was rejecting off pre-market high. So I exited at 10, right as this candle closed. Then, so it was a good decision right there. If I want to take it early, I also have to close decisively, I would say, which in the end saved me quite a bit. If I am not decisive and want to further my stop loss and exit below VWAP, that would be, I would have suffered much more drawdown. So that was negative $27 on two options, which made me down on the day. So I continued to trade 10.40 to 10.44. I took a quick around 10%, slightly less than 10%, but I took puts. So 10.40 over here, I was expecting a 2 candle follow through across VWAP, and the previous candle also closed below one of my trend lines. So the next candle gave me actually the next candle closed below pre-market high, so I can actually aim for a larger percentage gain, but I just took a quick, it was a quick scalp. So that was a quick $17 gain, which got me $1 positive on the day. Then I continued puts at 10.45 and exited at 10.50. 10.45. So actually I re-entered puts again over here because it was quite a good setup. We had 2 candle follow through across VWAP, and this candle closed below pre-market, and it eventually led to a bigger downturn. So I remember taking it around this white line over here for a quick scalp. It was around $25. I took it because this candle also back tested VWAP and pre-market high, and it was rejecting, so it was a quick $25 profit. And I took it very early. I could have aimed more, but I think with my current mindset, I should just take it when I see a quick 10+% gain. So that was $25, which brings me to $26 profit on the day. And my next play is on Google. So at this point, it was 11 o'clock. $26 profit on the day. I could have stopped, but I continued. So on Google, 11.54, and 5 minutes later, I exited for a loss. $27 loss. So this was quite painful. 11.54, I entered. Okay, so right here, we closed below pre-market high, and I wanted a follow through because I could aim maybe the 200 EMA or even right all the way below to pre-market low. But of course, the next candle closed back above pre-market high, and I just had to exit. So I entered here and exited here for a small loss of $27. Nothing wrong with that, because if we had a follow through move, then I would see profits. But if I didn't, I exited where I needed to exit, and eventually went higher. So this is definitely another decisive move that saved me a lot of drawdown. So that was a negative $27, which got me back negative on the day. So Nvidia, I took 12.03 calls and exited for a $35 gain at 12.40. So this was a longer trade. Okay, so I entered on this candle close. Okay, somewhere on this candle I entered because it was going past pre-market high, opening range and VWAP. So if you can stay above this structure, is very I would say it's quite a clear and defined trade, because my stop loss is below VWAP and all this structure, so even above the trend line. So it is considered an early entry since I entered on this candle. It could very well go back and reject off, but anyway, it closed above all the structure, so I continued to hold. I had my stop loss below VWAP because all this structure is together: opening range, pre-market, VWAP, and trend line. Yeah, so a lot of structure over here, and my target is the next level. Yeah, because if I entered somewhere here and my stop loss is below VWAP, it's not a very good risk to reward if I aim for the first target, which it did eventually hit. It actually hit very fast. Once I entered, in the next 5 minutes, it hit the first target, which I could have taken, but since I only got one option, I decided to hold and keep my stop loss wider at below VWAP. So it ended up being a very long trade. I exited at 10.43, I believe. Yep. So this was a $35 gain. I could continue to hold, but I think at around when it go past my first trend line, it was quite late, and we didn't have a momentum move, so it was a slow chop up. Yeah, even though it did eventually hit the target, I needed to wait until at least it was at least 1 hour to 1.5 hours, which I don't think is worth it. Oh, sorry, it was just half an hour, but I think nothing wrong with taking it early. Anyway, it was late in my time zone, so this was a $35 gain, brought me back to $34 profit on the day, and I could have quit, but I stayed on, took a last trade on the SPY. 12.34 I entered calls, and 12.44 I exited for a 39 gain. So 12.34 I entered over here. So this candle was having a follow through from the previous candle, and I entered I would say the entry was because it broke above the previous week, so it was above VWAP, above pre-market high, and it eventually closed above the trend line. Yeah, but I took a position before that close, so my target was either this volume range profile line over here, or at least opening range. Yeah, I took it, and this candle, when it got to this volume shelf over here, I just took it, and it did retrace. So I just took a quick $39 profit over there. So that got me to $73 on the day. Yeah, if I didn't take it right here, I could have held. I mean, I didn't know, so this retrace would have eaten some of my gains, but it eventually went on to hit all the way. Yeah, trended up all the way. So I guess this is okay to take it fast, and in the future, if I scale and got more contracts, then I could definitely leave some runners for me to capture this kind of trending moves. But overall, $73 positive on the day.